Hello friends, here are two people, Ram and Shyam. Ram's income is 10,000 per month and Shyam's income is 2 lakhs per month. So if I ask you which one of them has more earning in the financial year, then your answer will be Shyam's earning will be more than Ram in any financial year because Shyam's income is 2 lakh rupees per month, which is much more than Ram. So, the way individuals have income, countries also have income in the same way. This income is called national income, and there are many ways to measure national income. Four of these are GDP, NDP, GNP, and NNP. Among all the methods of measuring income, GDP is considered to be the most stable way. Why is it so? We will understand in the coming videos. Because before that, we have to understand what are GDP, NDP, GNP and NNP. GDP means gross domestic product, NDP means net domestic product, GNP means gross national product, and NNP means net national product. The one thing that is common in all these measures is product. So let's first understand the product. The ketchup sauce that comes in our house is a product because it has been produced by a company. Similarly, a flat where we are living is also a product because it must have been constructed by a company. And similarly, a sofa is also a product because it must have been manufactured by a company, and that is why we bought it. These are all physical products. But apart from this, there are also some software products, such as Finacle is a software product of Infosys, which Infosys provides to its different clients. Similarly, ERP system of SAP is also a software product, and there are examples of many other products used in everyday life such as car, cooking oil, etc. Let's pick one of these examples and see how tomato ketchup is made after all. Raw material of ketchup companies is tomatoes. Ketchup company processes these tomatoes in its production unit and prepares a finished good in the form of ketchup sauce. So it means that all finished goods can be called product. But apart from this, services are also called products. For example, you can see here that LIC has put its insurance plans, pension plans or unit linked plans, which are basically services, in the category of product, which means that we can also put services like banking, insurance and shipping in the category of product. And now with this understanding, we can say that goods and services are called products, and each and every good and services have a monetary value. If you want to buy ketchup, then you have to pay for it. Similarly, if you want to avail any services, then you have to pay something for that too. And many such goods and services are produced every year within the geographical boundary of our country. So if we take out the aggregate value of all the goods produced in a financial year as well as the aggregate value of all the services produced in the same financial year and add them up, then the value that comes out will be GDP or gross domestic product. Gross means total and domestic because here we are talking about things produced in the geographical boundary of the country. That is, GDP considers only those goods and services which have been produced inside the geographical boundary of the country. It means such Indian companies which are producing goods and services living in India, all those goods and services will be considered in the calculation of GDP. And at the same time, any foreign company which has set up its plant in India and is producing goods and services in India itself, the value of all those goods and services is also considered in GDP. Let us now understand some more important concepts related to GDP. We have already covered 2 points where we said that whether it is an Indian company or a foreign company, if it is producing goods and services by staying in India, then it will be considered as part of GDP calculation. Now let's see the third important concept related to GDP. We will understand it with the example of a spice company. Here you can see that there is a company MDH which manufactures spices. Suppose in a financial year, MDH has made 100 packets of spices and the price of each spice box is rupees 5. And in this financial year, out of 100 packets made by MDH, only 80 packets were sold in the market. 12 packets remained in the godown. And 8 packets were sent by the owner of MDH to his home for self-consumption. So here in this example, these 80 packets which are sold in the market, only these will contribute to GDP. Means MDH has contributed 80 into 5, that is 400 rupees in the calculation of GDP. 12 packets which were left in godown, their value will not be added to GDP because no one has bought them. Also, those 8 packets which MDH owner sent to his home for self-consumption will also not be added to GDP because the value of only those goods and services is considered in GDP against which money transactions have been done. So this was the third concept of GDP. Now let's see the fourth concept of GDP. Here we are talking about a steel company, Kamdhenu Steel. This company produces steel, and you know that there are many companies for which steel is a raw material. For example, for automobile company, steel is a raw material. Similarly, steel is a raw material for tools manufacturing companies as well. So if we consider here that the automobile company has sold a total of 10 cars in this financial year and the tools fabricator company has made a total of 5 tools, so the market value of these final goods will be considered as part of the GDP calculation. But the steel produced by Kamdhenu Steel will not be considered in the calculation of GDP because steel is an intermediate good which is used as an input to make other products. So the concept is that we only consider the market value of final goods in the calculation of GDP, and such goods are called final goods which cannot be used for further value addition. But the point to be understood here is that why intermediate goods are not considered in the calculation of GDP. Let us understand this in detail. Suppose Kamdhenu Steel has produced 1 kg of steel in a financial year, and a tool fabricator company has bought the entire 1 kg of steel as raw material and has made a tool from it which is only 1 kg. That is, only one tool has been made from all the steel purchased. Let's assume that Kamdhenu Steel sold this 1 kg of steel to the tool fabricator company for 5 rupees. So we can say that this tool fabricator company has invested 5 rupees on raw material to make this tool. So to fix the price of this tool, first of all, this 5 rupees will be added. On top of that, the tool fabricator company will add labor cost, machinery cost, ad hoc cost, transportation cost and its profit. Let's assume that this whole cost is 10 rupees, in which the tool fabricator company has also considered its profit. So the total cost of this tool has become 15 rupees. That is, the tool fabricator company will sell this tool in the market for 15 rupees. So we can see that the tool fabricator company has already included the value of the steel in the price of the tool. And every company does this. Whenever company buys an intermediate goods, it obviously considers its raw material in it. So that is why the market value of the tool will be added to GDP. The value of intermediate goods will not be added to GDP. Because if we add the value of tool to GDP and also add the value of steel, then it will be double counting, which will give a wrong value of GDP. So this is the reason because of which we add only final goods to GDP. Now let us see another concept related to GDP. Suppose you sold your old laptop to someone on OLX. You bought this laptop for 10,000 and you sold it for 5,000. So will this transaction have any effect on GDP or not? So this transaction will not have any effect on GDP because goods and services were not produced here. This laptop would have added its value to the GDP of that year when you bought it for the first time. Now you are selling it at any cost, it has nothing to do with GDP because GDP is considered for such goods and services which have been produced and manufactured in the current financial year. Now you tell me one thing, a shopkeeper bought a laptop from the company for 10,000 and sold it to you for 15,000. Will this transaction have any impact on GDP or not? I want your answer in the comment box. Whatever you think, do a discussion related to it. In the same way, we digest knowledge which is called consolidation. I'll soon give you the answer of this question in the next video. So till now in this video, you must have got a basic idea of GDP. But the thing to think is that which organization would be doing the work of calculating the data of everything produced in the whole country? The answer is CSO, that is Central Statistical Office. It comes under the Ministry of Planning and Development. So in today's video, we have learned a lot about GDP. But don't think that the topic of GDP is over. We have to go in more depth now. In the next video, we will talk about GDP in more detail. Follow the playlist to cover Indian economy in detail. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Bookstava.